Hi, buddy.
Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of Why Do Couples Fight? I'm filming this one in a slightly different place. We're at home today because we're going to talk about surprises. One of the things that couples fight a lot about is surprises because, they're unexpected and they can sneak up on you, and it's really hard as guys a lot of the time to know how to respond. I'm going to tell you real quick about a surprise we had recently that created an opportunity for me to either be a pillar or be a pile of rocks. My wife and I had been expecting a baby for almost 9 months, and she was supposed to be due on June 7th. She came a little bit early. You can see right here on May 30th, and that was my first big surprise. We had to rush to the hospital and kind of get that done a little bit early. The second surprise was that, she actually turned out to be a he, despite all of, medical technologies, recent advances in sonograms and predictive and all this other stuff. We basically the main difference is we have a lot more dresses than we'll probably end up using. Obviously, this is not something we had any control over, but sometimes life just dictates to us how and what we're going to do. And we as men, we can choose to respond one of two ways. We can stand strong and we can be a pillar. We can be a roll with it kind of guy. Or we can be a pile of rocks and we can have that pillar fall down and we can choose to be a stumbling block for others. I'm not going to say I've always been the pillar in every case, but the more that I can choose to be that pillar for my wife, the better our marriage is going to be. How do you respond? Will you be something she can lean on, or will you be that stumbling block for her? Obviously, there's always going to be a time and a place to talk about your wants and your desires. But when life hands you things that are surprises, like when the daughter that you've been planning for 4 or 5 months turns out to be a boy, you can choose your reaction. And let me tell you, in this particular case, when we get to look into this beautiful face, that pouty little lip, I'm proud to say that I was a pillar and a support for my wife through what could be a very challenging time, but turned out to be an amazing blessing. So my question for you is, when was the last time you had the opportunity to be a pillar and you stood strong? Or maybe the last time you had the opportunity to be a stumbling block and you turned into that instead. Leave that in the comments below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We'd love to hear some of your stories, and I know it's always an encouragement when we get to hear what other guys are going through.
It's just so real,
Yeah, I've got a son.